God protect these children from these nutty ass adults. Please protect these children. Because these adults are nothing but grown ass children themselves. They have no idea what they're doing. We see it on a day-to-day basis. Most people just aren't cut out. They're put in leadership positions and they're not cut out to lead. But they get in through all type of different circumstances. Sometimes through nepotism. A lot of times through nepotism. Sometimes they're able to just, fake it till they make it. It's all about the people who are acknowledging, the people who are in the positions that are recognizing their achievements and tend to prop them up or, elevate them. I guess that kind of falls into the nepotism system too. I mean, it's more complicated than that. It's more complicated than that, but we have a lot of nutcases in, school systems, politics, just all type of places, holding high positions. A private school in New York City, the Dalton School. Now, I don't know if that's I think it has a full name or whatnot, but this school here is a private school and they're teaching their children sex ed. Showing a video from, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called Amaze. They teach a lot of sex ed supposed to be sex education for kids 4 and up. And this is what they were showing at the school. Now, me personally, I don't think these are conversations that should be had with a child. There gets a certain point to where you do have to start talking about certain things. Or if the child asks a question, you may have to, answer those uncomfortable questions. But it being taught in school, and these kids, we're talking about to 6-year-olds, first graders, that they're showing this stuff to. It's too much. It's a video about masturbation, and then reportedly, they're talking about, only allow parents, because they say parents are mad because there's a conversation the kids are learning about only allowing to be touched by their parents or grandparents by consent. And this could be looked at in 2 different ways. It could be looked at in the, the whole, it could be looked at in the manner of, sexually. All the propaganda and different things, that we, the way that we think things are going, the way things look to be going within the media. We talk about, the age of consent when it comes to being able to make a decision like sex change or something like that. And so parents are looking at it that way. There shouldn't be any consent. It's just wrong, in total. So that's what's way it's being looked at. Like, what are you talking about consent? Are you saying that sex should be allowed because a child says yes? And I don't want to believe that I don't want to believe, and I don't think that's the route they're taking with this. But, and then on the other hand, the other side is, just touching in general, having control of your body. And they're trying to teach that to kids. I just don't think it's inappropriate for a child, especially a 6-year-old, Also, I mean, if you wanted to talk about it, and if your goal is to combat um, pedophilia, well, maybe what you should be doing is, I mean, focusing directly on that. Now, this is what it's not now. As far as the video, that's not what that was about. But the conversation about consent and everything, that's obviously alluding to pedophilia. So there needs to be a whole understanding and knowing the mechanics and when and not to, I don't know, maybe a kid screams, or because it happens all the damn time. It happens a lot, and so many kids don't even understand what's going on. So maybe you have that type of education that helps a kid identify what's happening within that moment. As far as it's a private school. So I will say a private school can they can teach whatever they want there. It's up to the parents to, continue to enroll their children there, or, pull their child out. Now, it's inconvenient, especially you have a parent that's engaged with that place, has their child engaged with that place, and that's where they've been going, or that's where they haven't planned on, or that's where they have planned on going, for a extended amount of time. It's very inconvenient, but, this is how they want to educate. I mean, it's private. It's not part of compulsory, education or anything like that. Now, it'd be more of a problem if it was within the public school, state funded. But it's not. It's privately owned, which means, so you can do damage, if they decide they don't want to listen to the parents. You can do damage to the public school and take your kid out and hit them in the pockets where it hurts. Hit them in the pockets where it hurts. But yeah, they can make that decision if they want to, because in the end of the day, it's not against the law. It's not pedophilia. It's very uncomfortable. I believe it's inappropriate. I believe kids are just trying to figure out, kids are just trying to have fun, and kids are doing whatever, you tell them, put in front of them. They want to have fun, and they're trying to figure out life, and the basic things. You want to teach them basic things. I mean, they barely know their ABCs. They barely know their math. There's so much to learn. There's so much you got to understand. I mean, there's a million other things you could talk about. A million other things that you could talk about. And you could start it off there at the first grade level, but not that. Not that. There's too much. Talking about masturbation and everything. It's too much. It's too much. Not for 6-year-olds. So I'm not down with this at all. I'm not with it at all, but like I said, with there being a private, a private school, they can choose to teach their children and bring, those children up however they see fit. That's their choice. Parents, y'all got to do what you got to do, and make, let your voices and your positions be heard. But it's part of that, just that push, to hold this, just introducing things to children that are just appropriate, that they won't even understand fully. There's some things, like I stated before, when you're talking about pedophilia or something like that, then there needs to be understanding, so you can understand how to move and what to do. At least give the child a fighting chance within that situation. But other things, it's just too early for them to learn about. Now, if you want to talk about acceptance and accepting anybody and prevention of bullying and things like that, and that's kind of what I got from the video. It's an uncomfortable video, but that's what I looked at. That's what I look at some of their videos that they got. I'm sorry, not that video, but because I looked at some of their other videos. They had one talking about gender, and I thought it was going to be, you know, the propaganda, but it was more about acceptance. You know, men's roles and women's roles. Now, I do believe men got to be men. Men are built the way they are because, you know, they have a job to do. They're built stronger, and they got to do the stronger things. And, you know, no matter what you want to do, you know, if you want to play with ponies or stuff like that, you know, play with little dolls, if you're strong, you still gotta make some stuff happen, do things that men do. You need all hands on deck. But, you know, but with this video, now I misquoted, but with this video, the one that they showed, and I'll leave the link within the comment section, or not in the comment section, but in the description area. It's just too early. It's too early for a 6-year-old to even be talking about that in school. Now, if the parent wants to talk about that and have that conversation, yeah. But for me personally, I'm not enrolling my kid in nothing that no type of school that's talking about no shit like that. Nah, fuck out of here. So many other things that kids can learn before they ever even get to that level. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, and I will holler at y'all later. Great culture. Yep.